this is not. This is not working out, and I forgot to turn off the redeemed again. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That's not what I want. That's not what I want. That is not what I want. That is not what I want. Okay. Don't worry about it. There. Fixed it. Now it'll be gone. Forever. Hopefully, yes. But yeah, hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. I wish more people would have actually joined. I mean, I'm lonely over here. Why, what happened to everybody? Hmm. Well, I'm not entirely sure what else to do because there's nothing to really do. Hmm. I was doing this because I wanted to do something with my fans, but nobody seems to be on. I'm streaming an hour early. What has happened to everybody? Like seriously, what has happened? Oh boy. In other news, we are at 125 followers, which is great because that means we are much closer to our 200 follower goal. We're at 63.5% the way there, which is insane. I would like to know where you guys come from. I would really like to know where from the deepest places of the universe do you all come from? Because, oh boy, this is insane for me to think about because a year ago I started doing this for fun. Not even just because, just for fun. And yet here we are, a year later, at 125 followers. Compare me to most other streamers, that's not much. Or, well, I guess most streamers are just those little kids who play Fortnite all day and are like screaming in their mics. But honestly, there is nothing better than having a community. I am confusing myself so much. Yeah, 125 of you. You know, I'm never going to stop talking about it. Just know that because it is too insane for me to even think about. It don't matter. I will always, 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 always talk about it. Okay, who is this one person viewing me? Who is it? Who are you, mysterious person on Twitch? Because I'm pretty sure it's not me anymore. I don't have Twitch open anymore. Who is it? Who are the mysterious person? Or, okay, they're gone. Never mind. Never mind, we're back down to 0. Who is thy mysterious person? Probably just me. So yeah. Where is everybody? I did this thing for a reason. I did this thing for a reason. Nobody's here. I want to know the answer. I... Where is everyone? Oh, boy. You know what? Let's see. I'm I'm just going to scroll through all my Discord servers that there are. So let's see. I've got my main Discord server, then I've got my NPM server. Let's see. Yep. I never finished that. Huh. Alright, let's see. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep, this seems about right. Alright. Next up, Discord's Got Talent. The thing that we've just given up on. Because honestly, it was a horrible, horrible idea. Yep. Yep. Alright. Anonymous W. Ah, that good old server. That good old MC server. I forgot about it. Alright, the meme thing. I don't know why I joined this server. Oh yeah, that's right. One of JC's friends wanted help making a Discord server. He asked me if I would like to help. I said yes. And now I am in this horror film. Alright. A crinkly Whatever happened to Crinkly? I have not seen him in quite some time now. In fact, he is one of the, what's it called? Staff members on my server. Whatever happened to him? I want to know. Alright, let's keep going. Oh, look, and my test spot's still on here. Alright, Misery returns. Ah, yes, the original DGT audition server. Now turned into this weird thing. I don't know. Yeah. Well, there's tons more Discord servers that I have, but those are just the main ones. Alright. Seriously. By now I thought somebody might have joined, but... Nope. Nope. Still nobody. Wait, how many... 31 members are offline, which means... There's 47. So that's 41. And then there's 5 bots. So there's 11 members online. 11 out of the 30... 11 to 31. Okay. Why is everybody offline today? It's not like a holiday or something, is it? I'm not sure. I didn't even plan what to play today. But we've still got about 45 minutes until we actually go and play something, so yeah. I'm just gonna click around. Oh, of course. Okay. So Eker and other James are playing a Roblox game called Be Dead Forever Simulator. That's about all I know. JC, I need my content. Come here, JC. It is very lonely in this chat, being only me. It's also very lonely because there's nobody watching, but it's much lonelier because there's nobody in this chat. Anyways, moving on. I'm just scrolling through everything because there really isn't anything else to do or talk about or anything because, well, welcome. Welcome to a horrible idea. Last time we did this, chaos happened. Oh yeah, I played, what's it called? I played, Splitgate. Didn't I? I played Splitgate the first time we actually did this. Holy cow. That was nearly a year ago. Jeez. Maybe 9 months ago? 10 months? I can't remember. Jeez. Okay, I've been streaming for a year. Okay, now it's all settling in. Now it's all making sense and not sense and everything in between. Yeah, I'm not sure what else to say. What else should I scroll through? Oh my gosh, we got another mysterious viewer. Who are the mysterious viewer? Who are the? Okay, you know what? Why not? Ah, no, that's not what I wanted to click on. Oh. Oh, of course. Yep, that makes sense. Oh well. I don't really care, but okay. Wait, hold up. Oh, okay, so Steam. I am streaming to Steam. How do I... Wait, hold up. Wait, am I actually... I never really checked this because I was like, it's probably just some type of joke. Apparently it's not. Holy cow. Okay, so wait. Steam. Oh my gosh, I am on Steam. Holy cow, I'm... What? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Alright, so I am on Steam, apparently. That's amazing. Alright, let's just keep scrolling through. I am not sure what else to do, but just talk. Other than just talking here. Because, honestly, not much else to really do if you couldn't tell. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just going to hold enter on this website and slowly watch code, even though it's fake. Oh well. Alright, seriously. Who are the mysterious viewer on Twitch? Who are the? You know what? Let's see if I can find out. There's nobody? What? I'm sorry, what? There's nobody viewing me on Twitch? Explanation? Is it a ghost? It's a ghost, isn't it? Oh, I knew those ghosts would come to haunt me. Alright. Alright, what else? What else? I'm running out of ideas here. Nobody's joining me. My Discord server is dead. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, there's 12 of us on. No. Yep, you know what? I'll just check the counting Discord channel. Okay, that's going strong. Okay. I don't understand why people are so invested in that thing. Because it's crazy. Alright. Alright. I'm not sure what else to do. Oh, the mysterious person has left. saddening. Maybe I go to my own oh, I just smacked my mic. Great. You know what? Perfect. Maybe I just go play on my SCPSL server. Or maybe I go see what other streamers are doing, because honestly, I got no ideas on what to do right now. What the heck? What the heck? It's muted. What the heck? Alright. Yep, that makes sense. Alright. Well. Uh, I don't know what to do. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know. Seriously, what do I do? Alright, you know what? Let's see. I'm just going to look here. Whoa. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. What is this? It's a category SCPSL. Its name is called the title is Roblox, and it's literally a photo of Rainbow Six Siege. That's how you pack 3 games into one. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. How do you mess up so badly? Oh. This one's in Spanish, even though it says English. This one. Okay. That has a lot of lag. You know what? I'm done. I was looking for somebody I could join, but there's nobody, so I'm just going to back away slowly. What do I do? I don't know. Maybe I go play Space Engineers and finally get into space. That could be good. Maybe. Maybe I go to Roblox and play some Shell Shock because craziness is good. Maybe I just open up my SCPSL server and see how many people join. Probably 0. There are not many good options for such a small streamer like me. I'm not sure. I need ideas. I need many ideas. I'm not a person full of ideas, if you couldn't tell. Okay. Yep, I don't have any ideas. So let's see. Options are I could A, go play the NPM server. B, go play another server. C, go play SCPS. Yeah. I'm thinking about all the options I have, none of which I like. I don't feel like doing right now. I need something. Just something. Yep, I don't have any ideas. I wish somebody else would join the chat, but nope. No, that's never gonna happen. It's funny. I have how many staff? I've got 3 staff members on my Discord server other than me. 2 of which I rarely to ever see on the server. Other one is better at that, but they're the newest ones, so yeah. I need to do something because this is going to get boring quite quickly. Actually, scratch that. It's already boring. Oh, we've got 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait, no, it's still 12 members. Dang it. Still 12 members online. Good news is, because of how little we're actually doing on the stream, we have not skipped any frames or on the stream, so that's good. Second I say that everything's going to skyrocket, it's like, oh no, 99% missed skipped frames. That's not good. Yeah, yep. I'm not sure. I am really not sure. Oh. What do I do? What do I do? Seriously. I need ideas. Give me ideas. I started streaming an hour early. And I've got nothing to do because I wanted people to join me, but nobody has, so fun. I'm trying to think. What do I do? Because there's really nothing I can think of. Right? Why hasn't anybody joined? The one time I let my stream control my viewers or fans control my stream. They're not there. Yep. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do because really nothing to do. Seriously, where is everybody? Is it better that I just start streaming at 8 because that seems like when everybody else is on. Nobody else is on. Yeah. Huh. Is that wind? Yeah, I think that's some strong wind. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. What do I do? Oh, of course. And one of my staff members is literally... Wait. I've got 44 members on my no, 47 members. 5 of which are bots. So that's 42 members. Which means there's only 33 people on here. I'm thinking hard. I'm really thinking here. Seriously. What do I do? What do I do? I don't know what to do. I'm not. Yeah, I have no idea what to do. You know what? I'm just gonna check this out. 99.90 forever. That could be worth it. That could be worth it because let's see, $4.99 a month, $2.92 a month for it's $34.99 a year. Yeah. I have no idea. I'm just sitting here waiting for people to join. Where is everybody? Alright. Epic. You know, if I was a viewer of this stream, I'd probably get very bored very quickly. So, you know what? Move into space engineers because honestly, nobody seems to want to join. So, yeah. Let's just update this all. Update it to space engineers. Update it to space engineers. Perfect. It's all been updated to space engineers. Now, to actually open space engineers. So, yeah, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, yeah, the second I switch to a game, I get a viewer. Oh my gosh. Ow. And also, why did nobody join? I wanted my fans to control the stream, but nobody came, so there is no stream control. Anyways, yeah. Let's see. Just wait for the game to load up. Come on. Where is it? I've also got to delete the, Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Close. Close it! Close it! Oh no! Oh my gosh. Close it! Okay. Okay. Things are happening. Things are happening. Okay. Let's just calm down. Calm down for a second. Oh no. Oh no. What else needs repairing? What else on this thing needs repairing? Nothing. Wait. We don't have any ammo. We need more ammo. Wait, we've got some ammo in here, right? Yes, we do. We do. We do. Okay. Okay, we did it. Ammo. I just realized. There. Okay. Is it good? Is it good? Better be. Okay, Gatling gun. Gatling gun. Gatling gun. Drop that. Gatling gun. Okay, you know what? Remote control antenna. Let's just do that. Now, can I remote control it? Remote control. Hold up. Why can't I remote control it? How do you use the remote control? Okay, here, let me just quickly do this because I'd like to figure out how this works. Control gyros, no. Thrusters, no. Main remote control, on. Then let's see. I need the antenna because that's how I get how I do that. How I remote control it. Can I remote control it now? Fudge. Antenna. Enemy base. Please, let me remote control it. Earth station modified. Okay, they're getting through. Think they're getting through? Oh boy. Yeah, you know what? Let's just close that. Oh dear. We're lagging. How do you use the remote control? Seriously. Is there something... do you have to do something else other than the remote control? Let's see. You got a sensor, you got a timer block. No. Got a sound block? No. Lights, ladders. What? How do you remote control things? How do you remotely control everything? Oh shoot, it can't be a base, can it? You know what? I've got an idea then. Okay. 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 I got an idea. Don't know if this idea is going to work, but I've got one. Okay, rocket launcher. Yes. I need light ammo and armor, not ammo, armor. That. I need also a battery. Where's the battery? There it is. And Yeah, let's just repair this. Okay. There's too much going on. Oh, shoot. I never switched to gameplay. I'm sorry. Okay. Oh, no. They're getting in. We need to do this quick. Where's the landing gear? Shut up. I don't care about your unknown signal. Right, we need that as well. Character weapons. Place that. Okay, I need what is called landing gear. Where's that landing gear? Kind of in a rough spot. I hear lots of shots. Okay, 4. Okay. Okay, 8. Let's place down the battery. Okay. 6. Actually, no, 7. It needs to have control. Shoot. 8. 7. Okay. You got upwards thrust now. Let's make downwards thrust. Then let's make forward thrust, or, yeah. Forward thrust. Okay. Things are getting heated very quickly. Then we've got our turning thrust. Can only turn one direction. I just realized that's a problem. Dang it, how do I make this easier to use? Okay, I need backwards thrust. Shoot. Then, backwards thrust. We'll place here. Then we'll have the, other thrusters that go the other way, so we have some control this way. Okay, let me just move my mouse. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. Great. Great. And the armor disappears. And you can't see the armor. You know something's gone wrong. Alright, yeah. I'm literally going to have to end Space Engineers. End the task. It's Task Manager. Okay, come on. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. Okay, good. Let's open it back up because mess. That was an absolute mess. Alright. Gameplay. Audio. Wait! Was my audio also off? That could explain a lot. Maybe I'm just not used to streaming an hour early. Could that be it?
Fuel critical.
Alright, okay, okay, it's happening again. It's just a giant box of metal. Yeah, okay, I need rocket launchers. Dang it. Leave me alone. You know what? This was a bad idea. We must quickly adapt to what is happening. Alright, quick adaptation. It's just build more blocks. Now, I need a way out that doesn't involve my destruction or imminent death. There. Got my way out.
No fuel.
Oh. Why? No. Okay, inventories. The large reactor has tons of fuel. What are you talking about? Jumpstart reactor. Problem is, all right there. Oh no. Oh shoot, I need to access the camera on my own. Okay. Camera. Camera. Docking camera. Aiming camera. View. Can't tell me that didn't. Took it out. It's now time I start my attack on them. Okay, come on. Are you serious? It literally... It knows how to go up in case of that. Oh. Okay, we got it. Oh, jeez, it's going down. Oh, it's going down. Ha! Okay. Can take the rest of them out by afar. Okay. Okay, we got it. Okay. Gotta be careful when getting close. Aha. Got it. What? From where? Oh, shoot! Gotta be careful, yep. Okay, got it. Got it. What damage did you... Oh, jeez. That's a lot of damage. I'm working off of 2 Gatling guns here.
That did do a lot of damage.
Oh, jeez. Who is that?
Death.
Oh, hey, Death. It's been a while, huh?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Okay. Okay, where's my camera? Where's my camera? Camera. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That's not good! That's not good! That's not good! I'm falling! I'm falling! I'm falling! I'm falling!
What are you playing?
Space Engineers.
I don't even know what you. I don't even know what that is. So are you streaming?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Well, I just joined it because I saw the announcement.
Oh yeah, well, that's over with because nobody joined in time.
Oh, and also one thing, you know that animatronic lefty, right?
Yeah.
It's actually righty.
Cool.
I can explain that.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I'm in the base. Well, on the base more of.
Because if you look, if he looks at you, it's actually his right eye. But when you look at him, it's left eye. So.
Okay. You know what? I need a warhead. Okay, I'm gonna blast open these doors.
Okay, well, I'll be right back.
What? Warhead. Go! 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 Oh! Oh my! Okay. Well, I just blew that entire thing to smithereens. Oh my gosh. Oh, what? I meant to blow open the door, but that works too. Okay. You know what? Smaller explosion this time. Come on. Yo! Oh no! Okay. Oh, just realized something. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should keep that on me, but nanite blocks. Deconstructing beacon. There. Okay. I just realized this is probably not this part of the same grid anymore, so... Come on. There. Perfect. I did it! It blew it open! I've just got to remember where those turrets are. There's one right there. Okay, got it. Yeah, got that turret. Okay, clear. Gotta disable those. Okay. Warhead's disabled. Going nice and slow. Okay. That could have been.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
You can't do anything anymore.
Warning, enemy detected.
Aye. Disabled.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Got it.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Ha ha! Can't do anything.
detected.
Alright. Let's just deconstruct these so I know they won't go off.
Detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Fuel critical. Detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Where is that coming from?
Enemy
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Yep, there goes my ship.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh shoot.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh jeez. Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
There's two. There's two.
warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Dang it! Ha! You fool! I set up a Stargate. Okay. Okay. Wait, Stargate's downstairs. Shoot. Go, go, go. Lock the front door as well. That's a smart idea. Go, go, go. Go. Dial, Okay, Okay. Yes! It works! It works! I did it! I've set up the Stargate. Okay. Okay. Stay back. Stand clear. That did damage, right? No, it didn't. Okay. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, it worked! Oh my gosh, it worked! It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. It worked. Oh my gosh, it worked. Shoot, there's a stinging advisory. Adversary, not advisory. Never mind. Never mind, there's not a stinging adversary. Never mind, there is no stinging adversary. Okay, okay, up, 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 up. Okay. Okay, looks like my body fell. Oh my gosh, it's deconstructing it from all the way over there. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Yes, it's working. I was about to say, did I seriously not switch it back to gameplay? I did. I just didn't see it. Alright. Okay.
Warning, enemy detected.
Oh no.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh!
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh yeah, my body fell off, that's right.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Oh!
enemy detected. Warning,
Alright,
enemy detected.
let's tag this thing with a
Enemy detected.
deconstruction thing.
Enemy detected.
Let's also tag this thing.
Warning, enemy detected.
That thing's been tagged.
Enemy
You know what? Let me get my body before it despawns.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Alright. Let's just use up some fuel
Enemy detected.
and fly in.
Warning, enemy detected.
Shut up.
Warning, enemy
Okay, you know what?
detected.
I'm going in from above.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
I mean above.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Worked.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Got it.
Detected. Warning,
Okay, I'm in.
detected.
I've done it. It's been disabled.
Warning, enemy detected.
I got a feeling. What? Where'd those go? It shot from there? Okay. Okay. I guess I gotta dial back in. Oh, it's nice having this thing. Anyways, as we wait, let's see. Anything going on? Oh my gosh. Death doesn't know left from right. Oh my gosh. Death doesn't know left from right. Are you serious? I was like, huh, is it really? But no, Lefty's left eye is actually the one that's off. Clearly Death didn't realize.
Meteor storm inbound.
Oh my gosh. He doesn't know left from right. Wow. No, I'm not gonna make that much fun of him, but seriously, that's his left eye, not his right, his left. Ooh. I'm sure it'll be fine. What's shooting? Oh, well. Oh, shut up. Yeah, I'm an enemy, sure. Sure, even though this is now my base, which I'm going to deconstruct entirely.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Alright.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Yeah, I heard you the first time.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
What? Oh, shoot, shoot, shoot. Shoot, there was one right there.
Warning,
Dang it.
enemy detected.
How am I supposed to get in? Oh, shoot, respawn. Alright. You still got some pretty good defenses, but I got a Stargate. You know what? While this is doing its thing, refinery and a what's it called? Assembler. Okay, yeah, assembler. Basic refinery. Yeah, that's not gonna happen today. Or right now, at least. Okay, don't let that thing touch you. It kills. Now, time to head over.
Warning, enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. 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 Warning, enemy
No, I don't want to go down there.
Warning,
That's a bad idea. That is a bad idea.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh shoot! I shouldn't be there! Those things are about to blow.
Warning, enemy
Okay. Didn't matter. They still blew.
Health critical.
Shoot. Ow. You know what? I got an idea. My body location's over here now. From where? Okay, those warheads were much stronger than I first anticipated, but yeah, I'm gonna go. Why does this thing take so long? Just want to get back there because that is where I died. Go. Go again. Just gotta be careful because.
Enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh, okay.
Warning, enemy detected.
So those turrets are still active.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
There's two bodies there.
Warning, enemy detected.
I don't think they can reach me down here. Shoot. There.
Health critical. Enemy detected. Warning,
Okay.
enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected. 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 Your health is critical.
Okay. I need something. Anything. I know exactly what I need. Alright. Let's, rocket launcher. Yep. That works. Battery, yeah. This is all that's needed. Because you see. Oh, shoot. No, okay. Next best thing. Oh, yeah, here it is. 5 right there. for...
Meteor storm inbound.
Invad. Okay, can I control it? No, I can't. Why can't I control it? I need a cockpit, don't I? Okay. Yeah, dang it. What do you mean incomplete? Oh dear. How did this do this to itself? Quickly, Ben, what is the 53rd number in pi? No idea. Oh, son of... Hold up. No, what? Yeah, I have no idea. I can only count up to like 7 or something. Oh, that's why. Control. Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Wait, hold up. I need it so it doesn't. There. What you break now, Ben? I broke nothing! Control. Okay, 1. Actually, I broke this entire base. Not my base. Thank goodness. It's the enemy base, so I'm just, trying to tear it apart. Where is it? There it is. There it is! Alright, let's get the next volley in there. Alright, next volley. I still have my toe really bad, so oof. I can't see through this freaking smoke. Where is it? Dang it. Okay, time to get the next volley out. Actually, you know what? We're moving it. Let's just remove that. Yep. So what are you targeting? The main headquarters of my enemy on the Earth planet. So far as you can tell, it's gone really well. Alright. I think it's time we finally get up. You know what? I'm going to use some tactics that I learned from Rust. Oh, shut up. Okay. You know what? Why am I laddering up when I have a freaking jetpack? The questions I ask myself every day. Okay. I got an idea. It's a stupid idea, but it's gonna work. Where is it? Oh, shut up! I'm not the enemy anymore, because I own this base. Dang it. Okay. Okay, I need a control seat again, a cockpit, sure. Sure, cockpit will work. I think. I hope. It's the turret 3. What? I can't control it. Oh shoot, there's no power here, is there? Battery, go. Okay. You know what? I'll use you instead. I think there's an enemy. I am the enemy. This freaking base, though, won't shut up about it. Okay. Control. 1. Can I get a clear shot of the turret? Yes, I can. Didn't hit it. I did it! Got the turret! I think... How do I make this jump? You know what? Oh, oh! Oh. Okay, that turret's gone. That turret is dead. Like, seriously dead. Okay, you know what? Let's get some decoys ready, prepared. As I try to breach. What? Dude, how? There's decoys! You're supposed to shoot the decoys! Dang it. Alright. To the Stargate. To the Stargate. I could do a lot with this space. What? What? What is it, random person? Does this kill me? No, it doesn't. Not yet. Yeah. Oh, I just realized something. I should just place down a random control seat here. Oh, it's active. It's active. You died mysteriously. No, there was a turret there. Alright. It shot through the, what's it called? Decoys. Okay. Ouch. Okay. Now I need, what's it called? Light armor. Okay, now I can get all my stuff. What? What? From where? Now that time I did die quite mysteriously because I did not see anything. It couldn't have been the turret I was looking at because I had no view of it, so it couldn't see me. Big oof, yes, big oof indeed, indeed. You know what, can I remote control anything? I can control the Earth station that I'm on. You know what I was thinking? I could just make little drones to scout out. Hold up. Hold up. I need to go to the Steam Workshop and see, and get some remote drones. Because if I'm gonna make one, no. You know what? Let's just search up drone. All time. Most popular all time. Let's see. Lots of these are for actual space. I am not in space. I am not. It's space engineers. But yet, I am not in space. I need something else. Okay, you know what? Remote drone. Of all time. Best of all time. Dang it, it's just bringing up the things. Wait, I got a recon drone? Oh, wait, that's space. That's for space. SBRT remote drone facility? No. Drone? No. I need something for the ground. Rover drone. Ooh. Ooh, I like the looks of that thing. Oh my gosh, I just realized something. I've just seen 2 SPRT remote drone facilities. I just figured out what they are. It's how they get so many ships to me. Whenever I attack them, another fleet just comes out of nowhere. I need a drone that isn't for space. Oh, I know what I need to search up for. Atmospheric drone. There we go. That's what I need. Okay. Vanilla. Perfect. Scroll all the way down. Where is it? Oh, wait. Refresh. You know what? Let's go through first. Now, let's put down the control seat here. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, and it's shut. Okay, 10. I need a drone. Let's see. All my station components. Taxon. There it is. Okay. How do I refuel you? Wait, hold up. What do you run on? Do you... Oh. Oh, what the? What was that? What was that? Oh, 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 Roman. Wait, Roman. Oh, hello, Roman. Thank you for the follow, but hello. Okay, Okay, wait, hold up. I need to figure out how do I... Okay, first let's get this drone in the air a little. Remote access. Cannot establish connection to... Oh. Oh, I see. Much better. Now, we head in here. Hola. Hello, Roman. I'm guessing GH is done streaming. Alright, antenna 2. Enable broadcast. No. Broadcasting radius. 50,000. Okay. Terminal. I can open its terminal now. Which is good, but... Oh. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, I can open the... Cannot establish connection to grid. Wrong ownership. Ready for Sunday? Sunday, what do you mean? Oh, Sunday! Oh, shoot, Oh, yeah, that's right! Oh, my gosh. Oh, I totally forgot. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. I think this thing needs, fuel. I can't give it fuel, though, because I think the fuel...
Meteor storm inbound.
Not another meteor storm. Yeah, I'm ready. A scale of 1 to 10, how good at MC are you? 2. 2. I can do commands and command blocks. That's about it. Survival, I'm okay at. But, ooh. Ooh, explosions. You know what? You know what? Let's just place a battery on it for the time being. There. Now, remote access. Not available. Cannot establish connection to grid. Okay. Hold up. Let's remove the battery then. Okay. Rotor control. Got it. Thrusters. Thrust override disabled. Antenna is on. Is the remote control on? Yes, it is. Why can't I get this up? Okay, thrusters. Overboard. No, okay. Why? Does it seriously need battery? Is that it? Okay, oh. Toggle block on. Oh, shoot. Wait, where are you going? No, that's not where you're supposed to be going. Ooh, okay. How do I refuel this thing? How do I use this thing? You know what? I should read the instruction manual. Created just for testing. Shoot! Okay, let's go back into Steam. Atmospheric drone. All time. Best of all time. Give me something good. Something I can use. I'm not seeing anything. Mining drone. camera drone. No. Oh no. I want a drone. I want to use drone warfare. Why? I want to use drone warfare, but I can't find any good atmospheric drones. Atmospheric, you know what? Remote drone. Does that help you, game? Apparently not. Alright, well, see you, son. Hopefully not on the battlefield. Yep. See you, Roman. Boy, I don't expect to make it. I don't expect to last long. I'll tell you that much. An atmospheric fighter drone. This is my second creation. Better be good. Because this one absolutely sucked. Okay. How big is this thing? Oh, it's not that big. Can it fit? Can it fit through? No. Okay. And it won't fit through that gap, so I'll just fly it up here. Oh, shoot! I forgot. When you have velocity and you place something down. Okay, remote access. Cannot establish why. Wait, what is on Sunday? Oh yeah, so Gamer or no, not Gamer. Who was it again? I can't remember anymore. Somebody. Was it Lion? Untamed Lion, one of GH's viewers, is hosting a, what's it called? Survival craft. A Minecraft thing where it's basically survival, but you have to, it's in Minecraft. And I was selected to do it. Okay. I need to get into here. Shoot. Any way I can get fuel into this thing? Dang it. I've noticed quite a bit that... Oh my gosh, can I use it? Can I do it from here? Shoot. Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah. How do you get fuel into this thing? Fuel, come on. Seriously, what? I can't get into the reactors. Let me in. It's all running off of a battery, which is a problem. Okay. You know what? Where's my connector? There. Collector? No. Connector? Yes. But small connector. I still can't put anything in. Let's see. Does it say anything else on how to use this thing? It's right here. No, it doesn't. Back to Steam. Atmospheric remote drone. Oh, come on. I just want a drone. That's it. Ooh. Atmospheric survival ship. I want a drone. Atmospheric fighter. Mining drone. I want a fighting drone. Where do I get a drone? Atmospheric combat drone. This one better be good. Oh, okay. There it is. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, what? Wait, do you run only off a battery? Oh my gosh. It runs only off of batteries. Holy cow. That's annoying. Because that means I have limited time with this thing. Okay. Remote access. Why can't I access it? Also, where is it? Nanite blocks. Deconstruct. Deconstruct this. Don't forget this over here. And this. Yep, there we go. Oh, shoot, I need ammo, so... Okay, so... Gatling gun, Gatling gun. So then... 2 missile turrets. Okay, you know what? $200mm. Let's just go with 20. Okay, apparently you can't put things in the missile turrets. Is that a missile turret? Yes, it is. Is that a missile turret? Yes, it is. There's the Gatling guns. Okay. Oh my gosh. Why? Oh no. Do I somehow access it another way? What? Oh, I guess we're going missile-less. Okay, how do you use... How do you use remote control? Okay, you know what? Control panel. Oh my gosh, atmospheric combat drone. Okay, can I do it now? No remote control. Oh wait, no. Remote control ready. Cannot establish connection to grid. Shoot. And why is that? Hold up. What if I just did this? Okay, no. Control. Can I do it now? No, I can't. Remote control 2. There's the remote control. Just the single remote control. The first remote control. Why can't I do anything with these things? It should be straightforward, but it's not. Not broadcast radius. Let's go high. Great. So... let's see. A static grid. What? Oh. Oh, shoot. I just realized what I need to do. Okay. Antenna 2. Enable broadcasting. Then over here, antenna. Enable broadcasting. Can I do it now? I can do it. Holy cow, I can do it now. I did it. I've done it. I finally figured it out. Where's the shots? Where are the shots coming from? Wait, what? Where am I getting shot from? Oh, wait. Oh, that's mine. Oh, shut up. Yes, I am the enemy. Uh-oh. I just lost the camera. Does it have warheads? I swear it had warheads. Oh, shoot. Next one, I guess. Let's just drop all that because that's useless. Oh, geez. Okay. Good enough. No control. Take control. This one's going in instead. Okay. Got it. Okay. There should be one other one right over here. Yep, I expected that. Oh, oh my gosh. Holy cow, you did it. Oh, I'm just too big. Oh, time to go take this side. on, I can fit. No, I can fit! Dang it, apparently I can't fit. You know what? There. Now let me fit. Can I fit now? Getting it? Shoot, 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 shoot. Okay, we're good. This is now my base. Oh, oh, what the heck? That scared me. Why'd Google turn? Oh my gosh. You know what? Job well done. Okay, come on. Now I've got to make sure that the thing is still there. It's not. That's why it's not being deconstructed. Okay. Plus, I got one other thing to deal with. Clunk. Oh. Just broke something. That explains what probably broke. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Where is it? There it is. Okay, fix me. Boulders, fix me. What? Uh-oh. Oh no! It caught me! It caught me! Okay. Okay, you know what? Alright. Alright, time to take my ship in. What the heck? Okay, there it is. Okay, we got it. Hold up. There's one more, isn't there? There's not. Okay. Alright, there's a landing pad over here. I'm using it. Alright. Now we get this. And we spam them everywhere. What the? Oh. Oh yeah, that's right. This entire thing must go. Now nanites should start showing up and destroying it all. Though now that I think about it, they're probably too far away, so I'm going to make a floating nanite factory because why not? Alright. Let's see. So I need nanite factory. I need upgrades. I need reactors. I'm going to get a large reactor. Where are the reactors? There they are. Reactors. Then I need atmospheric thrusters. And finally, cargo containers. Sure, it could be just as easy to make one that doesn't fly, but where's the fun in that? Okay, I need a flat base first off. Okay, place that down there. Why can't I place this down? Is it because of the base? No, it's not. You know what? Why don't I just make a large platform off of this? Okay, 8. There we go. 7. And you're tired? What did you do today? What made you so tired? For me, it's just school. Alright. So, now what? Okay, now that that's all in, I'll get some conveyor junction. A conveyor junction. Place it like this. Then snow day, snow shovel day. Oh. Once upon a time, that was a thing to happen. Nowadays, it's just a myth. A legend. Oh, jeez. We must make sure that it is even on all sides. This thing's going to look crazy, which is why I'm making it. I swear the thing never shuts up. There. Then there. And there. Oh wait, I didn't place one there. Okay. Now I gotta enable this. So clean up. There. Oh shoot, I can't get in that way. Oh no.
Health critical.
Ouch. That one little thing, huh? I wonder. Pick it up. Shoot, where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. Large reactor. There. Oh. Look at that! Oh no. Uh-oh. Oh shoot.
Fuel critical.
Shoot. It's moving. It's moving. Okay, and it needs a gyro. Gyro. Gyroscope. Needs to be stable. There. There. Okay, I think it's moving. Yeah? It might be. I don't think it's moving anymore, hopefully. As I add these all in just to make it a little more stable, and if I have to retrieve it. Oh no. Oh wait, oh. Okay. I think there might be an enemy nearby. Oh my gosh. It never shuts up.
Meteor storm inbound.
Why don't you shut up? Have you thought of that thing? Of course you not. Of course you don't. Won't. There. Now it is nice and stable. Oh, geez. They are coming straight down. Okay. Alright. There. Okay. Great, it's doing its thing. You know what? You know what? Copy that. Oh wait, you know what? Maybe go a little further away first. Copy it. Why can't I? Well, okay. New blueprint. Alright, edit. Rename. Moving nanite factory. Perfect. Oh, that's why it stopped moving. It's a static grid. For whatever reason, it became a static grid that I now need to, what's it called? Make unstatic. Control panel. Production. Info. Oh. Oh, okay, so it is. Atmospheric. Atmospheric floating nanite factory. It's beautiful. Okay, can I control it?
Fuel critical.
Oh, I know why. Hold up. I bet. If I go all the way over here. Oh, it needs a camera, that's why. There. And now if I go over here, not die, then enter
No
here.
fuel.
Oh shoot, I need to set one as the main, got it. Alright, just gotta make it do a few more settings with this thing. I want that one. Okay. Oh, okay, so that is the remote control that I want. Okay, now can I control it? I want access. Cannot establish connection to grid. Wait, hold up. Please don't tell. Please tell me. I do have one. Oh, there. Oh my gosh, I can do it! Oh shoot. Oh. I cannot establish a connection to the grid. What do you mean? I've got 4 antennas on it. Is there something else I have to set with these things? Okay, broadcasting. Yes. A radius of 50,000. Cannot establish connection to grid.
Fuel critical.
How do you establish a connection to the grid, though? Alright. Huh? Oh. Not as exciting anymore. Oh well, you know what? It's fine. This is perfectly fine. It's just slowly carving away at this place. I mean, let's just quickly head inside to see how... Okay. Yeah, now this... there we go. Yeah, this is crazy. Oh, and it's deconstructing over here. Ugh. Now this time I didn't cut it down. So, chances. Okay, how do I get up? How do I get up into that? Oh, another meteor storm, eh? The stairs were right there. I say were for a reason. I'll still use the doors, though. It's like, yeah, this entire place is destroyed and I can go anywhere, but I'll just use the doors. Haha. Alright, we're safe. Oh! Wait. Shoot! Perfect. This entire station is mine. It's all mine. Okay. Never mind, it's not all mine. You know what? Just because. Yeah, we didn't have enough. Oop. Character weapons, there it is. Haha. The base is mine, and then we can move on to space. It never stops. I need to... where does it get all of its power from, Where are all of those reactors? No, that's not a reactor. There are no reactors over here. Oh, reactor! I think I know where another one is. Alright. Here's another one. I just realized. Right next to it is a battery. I can't stand it anymore. Shut it up. Son of a... Where is the rest of it? Where are the other batteries? And reactors? That one's been dismantled. That grid's no longer... Oh. Okay, I see. Oh, hey.
Meteor storm inbound.
Oh, okay. Battery! Get out of here! Okay, that wasn't the last battery.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh my gosh, wait. Hold up.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy
Yes, I've disconnected. Ooh, okay. Anyways.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Or processing.
Enemy detected.
Turret tower. So there's ones in the turret towers.
Detected.
Then there's just batteries, and then there's the commands.
Detected.
I know exactly where that is.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
As I said,
enemy detected.
I knew it.
Warning, enemy detected.
Now, shut up already.
Detected.
I am tempted to just fill this place with warheads and let it blow up.
Enemy detected.
So there's one in the turret towers. Huh.
Enemy detected.
Wait a second.
Detected. Warning, enemy detected.
The turret towers.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Duh. Anti blocks. Oh my gosh. Is it it? You know what? Okay, character tools. Oh my gosh, they're all connected. The turrets are connected? What? How far down does it go? It's gotta be inside here. I didn't realize the turret towers were actually connected. Holy cow. Okay. Finally. Oh no, there's more. Battery! Oh no, I just realized how much work it's going to be to get every single one of these things. Wait a second. I had an idea. I just had an idea. Well, if I can't find all the batteries, why don't I just disable the entire freaking facility? Smart. What?
Fuel critical.
Oh no, don't tell me. I can't turn it off. No. Oop.
Warning, enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning,
Yes.
enemy detected.
Yes, I know there's an enemy. I know it's me.
Enemy detected.
Shut up. Thank you.
Warning,
Oh, shut up.
detected.
Hmm.
Warning,
The floating base of glory.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Yeah, gotta remember not to go into those thrusters. That means certain death.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
I'm in it.
Warning, enemy detected.
Oh my gosh.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Yes.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
I'm now realizing the mistake I made with having the forward thrusters on one side. Oh well. You know what? Let's set the max speed limit to something stupidly slow. Like 25. Perfect. Cockpit 2. Can I set this to something?
warning, enemy detected. 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 Warning, enemy detected.
Alright, epic. Ooh.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Hold up.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
I just realized these things can be used to damage.
detected. Warning, enemy detected. Fuel critical. Warning, enemy detected.
What?
Warning, enemy detected.
Oh shoot.
Warning, enemy detected.
There. You're not supposed to be fixing this thing. You're supposed to be destroying it.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
And now look at that. I can't get hurt.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
But as I said, it does damage.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh no.
Warning, enemy detected.
You hear that? It's beautiful, isn't it?
Warning, enemy detected. 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 Warning, enemy fuel critical.
Haha.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Alright.
Warning, enemy detected.
Okay, be quiet.
Enemy detected.
Yes, we know.
Warning, enemy
Oh boy.
detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Edit. Replay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Alright, let's make a second one.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Okay, there.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh, okay, so that thing kills you. Got it. Shoot. Well, dial in. Wait. Oh my gosh. I can take over it? Wait, no, wait, that's not it. Okay, am I too far out? Probably. Alright, I'm gonna bring my, what is it? Not the sting. Where is it? The static grid. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Oh, this is this. Okay, control. Haha, I made it out. How far can this thing go is my question. 10 to 2, okay. So I want to see what this Clegg beacon is. That's 6 kilometers out. Oh, shoot. I hope it can last that long. I want to check out what this Clegg beacon is. Alright. Oh, jeez. Warning. I've learned this makes it heat up very quickly. And it's gone. Shoot. I should not have done that.
Warning, enemy detected.
Okay, got it.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Now that I think about it, what did I think would happen? Standing on blades spinning fast enough to keep this thing afloat. What did I think would happen?
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Alright.
enemy detected.
You know what, I'm gonna go check out that Clegg beacon.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh, I'm off. And that means... Yep, okay, we're good. Heat levels. Rising. Let's get them higher. Let's see how high we can get them. Wee. 630, 640, 650, 660. Oh no, 70. I don't know how high I can go before it starts burning up. Oh. Oh, shoot. So, over 750. Got it. Oh my gosh. Oh! Oh! So that's what happened, huh? Oh! Oh my gosh, yes. Oh, that's what this is. It's a safe zone with, it's an outpost, okay. Pull up. Pull up. Pull up. Okay. I don't know. Okay, it's this way, Oh, I need to go down a little more. Can I dock? No, I need to go back a little more. How about now? Come on! You know what? Good enough. Good enough. Alright. So this is just a nice outpost. Got it. Get a connector there. Access denied. Got it. Alright, oh. Can't access the stores. Fun. Ooh, I could take the grinders. Could take the grinder. Oh shoot, wait. This thing doesn't have a door. It's a toilet. You know what? I'm good. Alright, oh, that's a window. So, what were to happen if I, let's say... Dang it. I need to find a way on how to do this. Oh well. Alright, let's see. How fast can... How much heat can we get so the entire thing falls apart? Whee! Warning, we've reached 500. It then changes at 750. 600. We're going to catch on fire at 800. Let's see how much damage that can do. Heat level critical. Am I on fire? Why am I not? Why is there no fire showing? You know what? Why not? Want to see how much I can destroy this thing with just heat alone. Alright. Warning. Okay. Trying to control this thing so it doesn't go hitting the ground. Okay, we got it. Wee. Wow. Okay, let's hit 900. We can do it. We're going to hit 900. Getting so close. But the ground's okay. Oh, we're good. Going to hit 900. Oh my gosh. We're hitting 900. Oh no, why won't we hit 900? Uh-oh. That didn't sound good. We hit it. We hit 900. I saw it. Now, how much more can we destroy this thing? What? Oh no, it reached such a critical state. Oh my gosh, the entire thing's the entire thing's gone. Alright, there it is. Hold up. I just thought maybe it would be a good idea to fix this a little more so that when I reach the speed. There. Yeah, it's working. We're hitting 700. Our altitude is slowly dropping. Hopefully we get destroyed before the altitude hits 0. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, we just went up. We're going up for some reason. Okay, 7, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. Yeah, we hit 800. Oh, wait, it wasn't 800. That was the special thing. It was 900, wasn't it? I can't remember. But, boy, the atmosphere isn't liking me doing this. Oh, no. Escape. You know what? Oh my gosh. Holy. Oh my. The entire thing. All you could see was flames. Where is it? There it is. There. Alright, we're doing it again. This entire thing. Oh my god. Question is, how much longer can it last? As we slowly spin up. Hitting 700 in record time. And then we get to high enough
Storm inbound.
altitude. Oh geez, altitude's dropping. Okay. Why won't it heat up? It's cooling. That's not what we want. Oh no. Okay, hold up. Oh, okay. I'll be back in a moment. Alright, I'm back. Alright. Come on, why can't I hit 800 anymore? Oh, aerodynamics, isn't it? It's because of the aerodynamics of this thing now. You know what? Just because. Okay, we hit 900. Oh my gosh, are we gonna hit 1,000? We hit 1,000. Oh no. Oh no. Oh! Oh my. The heat of this thing. I'm telling you. Oh my gosh. Everything is gone. Oh my gosh, yes, it worked. I did it. Yay. Yay. Okay, how do I get this thing off the freaking ground? You know what? I got an idea. If in doubt, just do this. There. Right, let's just do 2. Okay, large thrusters down. Okay, we did it. Question is, can we make it back to base? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, we still got that one main thruster. Holy cow. Oh, Oh my gosh. Off. Oh. Oh my gosh, it looks ridiculous. On. Okay, yeah, doesn't look bad. Off. Oh my gosh, it's gone. It's a goner. Oh my gosh. You know exactly what's about to happen. Warning. 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 On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. On. Off. Off. Okay. Oh hey, meteor storm. This is me trying to find out how much I can destroy this craft. Oh boy, it's flaming. It's flaming yon. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's a stick now. Oh no. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. Go. Fix, 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 fix. We don't have time. We don't have time for this. Okay. We got it. I got it. Oh. Oh, that's it.
Fuel low.
That's it. What remains of this thing? Okay, some scrap. More scrap. Oh. Ooh. 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 I like that. Oh my gosh, all that remains is scrap. Okay, well, that means we must make it look the part. As if it has been sitting here for centuries. Oh my gosh, more. More. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, what else exists of it still?
Fuel critical.
Nothing, okay. Ouch.
Warning, enemy detected.
Oh my god.
Warning, enemy.
This thing still hasn't stopped?
Warning, enemy detected.
Okay, I'm gonna check this thing.
Enemy detected.
Inventory.
Enemy detected.
Oh my gosh.
Warning, enemy detected.
Oh.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy.
Oh, the amount of ammo I now have.
Warning, enemy
Oh my
detected.
gosh. Yes.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh my god.
Warning, enemy detected.
So how long is it going to take to deconstruct this entire thing?
Warning, enemy detected.
Oh, ho, ho. Yee. Oh my gosh, battery! Battery! Grind that thing down!
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy
I just realized. Why don't
detected.
we just use a station shield emitter to waste all of its energy? Smart.
Enemy detected.
I'm smart.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Okay.
Warning, enemy detected.
No power things at all. Nothing to make it more efficient.
Enemy detected. Warning, 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 enemy detected.
There.
Enemy detected.
Oh wait.
Warning, enemy detected.
I want to turn on.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Oh, it is on.
Enemy
Okay.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
And I just thought.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
So it's not playing its animation, okay.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
But it's there.
detected.
It's huge.
Detected. Enemy detected. Warning, enemy
Look at this. You can't beat it. Where's my water bottle? I need water. There it is.
detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
I hope it's wasting the batteries.
Enemy detected.
I really hope that this thing is wasting all the battery power.
Warning, enemy detected.
You know what? We need more things to waste battery with.
Warning,
Hmm.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Let's see.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Where do I do? Where do we go?
Warning, enemy
A mouth. What the heck is this thing?
fuel critical. Warning,
Oh my gosh. Is it a tiny tank? Is it just a tiny tank? Holy cow.
warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy
Oh my
detected.
gosh. It's a tiny tank that defies gravity.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Get down here.
detected.
Oh my god.
Warning, enemy detected.
The thing is so freaking these things are so freaking heavy. Look at the dent it created just by hitting the ground.
Detected.
Alright, what is this thing?
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
No idea. Okay, anyways, next up. What else can we use to waste energy?
detected.
Very, very, very quickly.
Warning, enemy detected.
Because this thing's getting very annoying.
Enemy detected.
We need more battery waster.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning,
Oh my
enemy
gosh, it
detected.
never stops.
Warning, enemy detected. 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 Warning, enemy detected.
I love these little things because they just float there
Warning,
and deconstruct.
enemy detected.
They also look really cool. Like,
Detected.
I feel like I'm playing
Detected.
not Space Engineers anymore, but I'm playing what's it called? Star Citizen. Yes. Drop it all. Drop all of it. Drop all of it. Where are the other batteries?
Warning, enemy detected.
I've dismantled the battery.
Detected. Warning,
I need
enemy
to find the
detected. Warning,
The remaining batteries have to be... Okay. Okay, we've entered a quiet zone. Oh. Yes. Destroy. 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 Come on.
warning, enemy detected.
It's just floating there, doing nothing. It's beautiful. Ah, water. It's deconstructing the turret. Okay. You know what? I was thinking, what if I were to just spawn something random in? Like the atmospheric combat drone. Just spawn it in. And give it. Just give it to the space pirates. Ah, you know what I was thinking? This thing, it doesn't have enough thrust. It needs more.
Fuel critical.
Thrust. It needs more thrust. We need it to go flying. Oh no, what the heck? What? What is this? Huh? What? Oh my gosh. Whoa. Ho 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 ho. Anyways, let's just do that. Get this on here. Get all the atmospheric thrusters that I just placed. And thrust override. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is great. I just watch it go. They see me rolling. Hey, Hayden. You know what? I just thought of. What if I were to spawn one here? Aiming at the enemy base, even though I'm taking it apart. Just place it there. Then remove these things, these turrets, because they aren't needed. They aren't needed in this mega plan. Then fill them with warheads. Hopefully, you see where this is going. Anyways. Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. Oh, what the heck? How'd they get down here? Don't remember placing them down here, but okay. Now, okay, how'd that one get over here? Okay, now that it's filled. Shiny armor. Nice and black as well, because, yes. Okay. Then we just close up these. Just close up the sides, because it's a bombing. It's a bomber now. There's no need to have these sides. Then we color the entire thing in my colors. In my team colors. Then we just do this. Okay. Okay.
Fuel critical.
Oh, shush. You know what? There. What's this? What's this? We don't need that. All we need is this block. Then to rotate these. This is going to hurt, isn't it? When it finally comes in, you see it. But it's too late. You have no idea what's about to happen. Until it happens. Okay. Groups. Boom. Start countdown. You know what? Actually, let's do it arm. And so then... Oh, shoot. We'll just have a singular boom. We'll have 4 bombs right here. Okay, now I need to edit this thing. Because we've added more booms. Okay, so warhead. Bomb. And then we color it a little more because it needs color. Oh, hello, RJ. I haven't seen you in a while. Alright, and then we just do this. Perfect. Then we just give it little splotches of green everywhere because... There. Perfect. She'll see. F10. Create new from blueprint. Atmospheric bomber. Sea shanty 1 or 2, which is better? I'm not sure. They're both really good. Alright. Now that that's done. Remote access. Alright, group. Arm. Detonate. Deet, 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 deet. Oh my gosh. How much did that do? Oh.
Enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
Okay, you know what?
Warning, enemy detected.
I'm just going to spawn another one of those in. Cause why not? Why not? Alright, there it is. Groups. Let us arm it. They will never know what hit them.
Fuel critical.
Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get into the next one. Okay, must Must do this. First, we must fly over and check out the damage. Oh, come on, that's disappointing.
Enemy detected. Meteor storm
What the
inbound
heck?
detected.
Oh, you know what?
Enemy detected.
What?
Warning.
Oh,
Detected.
do we have to arm it first?
Warning. Enemy detected. Fuel critical.
Alright, let's go check out the damage. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, that was a direct hit! Also, what the heck? These things do literally nothing.
Detected. Warning. Enemy detected. Warning. Enemy detected.
Oh no!
Warning. Enemy detected.
Oh my god.
Enemy detected.
Oh my god. This thing was just here. And now it's gone. To take it all out, I know exactly what I must do. I know what I must do now. This will be glorious.
Fuel critical.
Are you serious? Okay, wait, hold up. So do they all blow up? Or is it just the... Okay, they all blew up. It's the armor. Oh, no. Oh. It's all gone. Alright. Nope. Yep. Let's just go in here. Repair / construction. No. I wonder. What would happen if I were to crush a warhead? Arm warhead. I'm crushing a warhead. Okay, I'm not crushing a warhead because it's blown up. You know what? I've got a better test. So, actually, you know what? Better test. Pistons. Pistons, where are they? No. What? Where are thine? Oh, there they are. Okay. So, what we're going to do is we're going to place this down here. We're going to place heavy armor here, 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 here. How far out can this extend? Oh, Hey, oh wait, hold on, piston. Piston, there it is. 5 meters, got it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is 5. So that means we cap it off here. We then place our warhead. Oh dear. Then place our warhead here. Oh, Okay. And you place a piston there. Oh no. It's happened. Okay, piston. Safety detach. Let's go a meter. And then reverse. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, okay. 8. And that means this piston needs to be flipped. And so does this piston. You know what? Place a block here. 8. And let's bring it down to a meter. Then safety detach of a meter. Yo, wait, what? Hold up. Reverse.
Fuel critical.
Minimum distance. A meter. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see. Oh, maximum distance. Bring that down to 1.0. Okay, 8. There. Maximum distance of 1 meter. This is a test to see what happens when you crush a warhead. This is preparation area, the preparation area. Why are we doing this? Why not? Oh no. Won't fit. Okay, that's what happens. Got it. Thankfully, I can just run over down here. And the nice door gate is just waiting. Alright. Now we wait. As I drink some water. Good. Oh. Oh, wait. Did it collect my stuff? Yes, it did. Yes. We tried squishing a warhead here. We all see how how well that went. Now we try it again. Huh? That ain't good sounding.
Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected. Warning, enemy detected.
The heck was that? Sounded like repair, but I don't remember authorizing any repairs. Cause why not? Oh, no. I forgot to arm it. Oops. Okay, time to get it this time. There. That works. Now, warheads. Arm.
Meteor swarm
Hit the button
inbound.
and run! Alright. Oh, geez. Okay. I know how I'm getting down to the bottom, to the center of the world now. Oh my gosh. Okay, come on. Oh my god. It is a pitch straight down. Oh. You know what? I'm just going to do this. Projector. Okay, projector. Control panel. Okay, projector. Okay. Blueprints. Create new blueprint. Okay. Automatic bomber. Okay. Then we go in here. We go to the projector. We take the automatic bomber blueprint. Then we move it. Where do we move it? Horizontal offset. There. Alright, now what we do is we build this mechanism. Where's my welder? There it is. Oh wait, hold up.
Fuel low.
Okay. You know what? How much does it take to make a warhead? Explosive 6, computer 2. Why can't it just auto-weld? Like me. Ow. That hurt.
Fuel critical.
Oh, wait, is it actually in the way? Okay, hold up. Okay, I think I know what's going on. So, do we have like a decoupler or something? Oh, a merger or landing leg. There's the landing gear, landing gear, landing gear. No. Oh, here. Okay. Then we place this down and we turn it on. Then, okay. Oh my gosh, it's just one straight hold down. Then, let's see, the merge block. Where's the merger? Merge block, there it is. Merge block, there it is. Off. Or, you know what? Off. Okay. I need it so that it basically just decouples. Okay. And in gear. There is no, like, decoupler in this game. That's the problem. That's the closest thing we have to a decoupler, I should say. Rotor. Maybe that'll work? No. The thing I can think of is doing this. Very inefficient, but it's the only way I can think of. In fact, you know what? This was more efficient. Whee! Oh my gosh. Could it be possible to make a rocket out of only warheads? Get you to space. Where's my water bottle? I need more water. Okay, there it is. Water. Alright. Oh my gosh. Exactly back to doing what I was doing. Still armed when I place them in, right? Okay, yep, that explains. Yep. Oh my gosh.
Meteor storm.
I just need to set a cryopod over there now. You know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. Cryopod. Alright, excuse me. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Shoot. There. Wait, why didn't it change color? Oh, that's why. What the heck? I was just trying to get in. Gotta go quick. Dang it! You know what? Here, let's see what the rusty armor looks like. And the battered armor. We're just gonna compare every armor type. There. So, no, nice and shiny, rusty, battered, cow, then normal. Yeah, here. You know what? This'll work. Oh, excuse me for a moment. Alright. You know what? Let's try making this hole bigger. Need help? Game? Okay, there we go. Okay. Okay. That was big. Oh shoot, I'm not placing my shiny armor. My clean armor. Oh my god. Come on. We need more. Okay, and we need to clean up the world. So, trash removal. Accelerating, no. Linear moving, no. Stationary. I don't know. Trash removal. Cycle objects. Biggest grids. Ooh, next. Ooh, next. Ooh, next. Ooh, next. Oh, next. Oh, remove. Next. Next, 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 next. Come on. So wait, these are just like little outposts on all the planets? Remove that as well.
Warning, enemy detected.
Oh my god. Remove. 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 Remove.
Enemy detected.
Remove. Come on.
Warning, enemy detected.
Remove that. Remove that.
Warning, enemy detected.
Remove. 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 Next. Oh boy.
Warning, enemy.
Wait, what the heck? Okay. What the heck are these things? Oh my gosh, what? Oh my gosh. What the heck is this thing? Okay, back to what I was doing. Static objects. Next. Next. F6. There. Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Just a few more. Why can't I make this automatic? Alright. Bright light. Okay. You know what? Whew. Ouch. Oh no. Okay. Anyways, that's where we're going to be leaving off the stream. Thank you so much for watching. That went, not as expected. Now, I've literally, got to crash Space Engineers here. Don't worry about it. Oh no. Uh-oh. Something's not going right. Huh? Anyways, yeah, thank you all so much for watching. But otherwise, there's not much else to say. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. A good